Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Tyler,
And I'm Molly.
and today we're going to be talking about a movie that Molly here showed me for the first time, although I had read the story that it was based on previously.
I was the one to show you it for the first time?
Yes, you were.
Oh, cool.
This is, of course, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? An adaptation of Homer's Odyssey set in Great Depression era, Deep South.
Yeah. It's quite quite a great movie.
Yeah, like I said, I had never seen it before Molly and I started dating. So when we did watch it, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a whole lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. See, I show you good movies.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I get a good one.
Yeah, and then occasionally you'll show me something dumb as hell, like The Stupids.
Yeah, but that's okay.
No, it's not.
You have to you get a wide variety with me.
Anyways, let's get going before I say something offensive.
Sure.
So, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou stars George Clooney as Everett, a con man who just broke out of prison because he wants to see his wife and daughters.
Yep. He has a lot of daughters.
Yeah, birth control was a completely different animal back then than it is now.
Yeah.
He's joined by John Turturro as Pete and Tim Blake Nelson as Delmar. A couple of his fellow inmates on a chain gang that join him because he told them that there's buried treasure where at one of his cabins.
Yep. Please excuse me. You said birth control and that reminded me that I haven't took mine yet, so.
Yeah, probably a good idea to do that.
I already have one baby. I don't want another.
So soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, these three make for a really fun trio. You buy their friendship, you buy their the animosity that they have for each other at times, and they're a fun group of guys to watch do their job.
Oh yeah, the actors have great chemistry with each other.
Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson in particular, I feel like he's one of the more underrated actors working today. He's absolutely fantastic in every role I've seen him in.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether it be bit parts in movies like Hoot or small character roles like in The Incredible Hulk, he does a great job with anything he's given.
Yeah, he was in Holes.
He was in Holes. He was Mr. Pendansky.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in the upcoming Captain America 4 as his character from The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
When we were watching this, Molly here said to me, why does Tim Blake Nelson always play Southern characters in his movies?
I think that's close. I think I was more wondering about his accent, but yeah.
Yeah, because he said that his sins were washed away when he got baptized in the river.
Yeah, and I said he does that correctly. Yeah.
Well, it turns out it's because he's from Oklahoma.
That would be it, yep. Because I was like, man, yeah, because every role I've seen him in, he has a Southern accent. I'm like, either he has one or he's just really good at doing that.
Both.
But I guess it is both, yeah.
Now, this will not be the only time Tim Blake Nelson has worked with the Coen brothers, who, by the way, did direct this movie. They are I don't need to describe to you guys who the Coen brothers are. Odds are you know who they are.
Most likely.
But the Coen brothers are some of the best directors working today. I believe they don't really work too much together anymore, but when they did, they were fantastic. They are some of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But Tim Blake Nelson would also work with him on The Ballad of Buster Scruggs as the titular character.
Yep, and that was a good one.
Yeah, we are going to be looking at that hopefully sometime this year.
I think I made you watch it too.
You did, yeah. I was overseas. I watched it on Netflix. It turns out the Coen brothers are working on a new project together.
Well, knowing their past projects, it'll probably be good.
Yeah, I have no doubts about that. Anyways, let's get back to this cast. John Goodman, another terribly underrated actor, plays Big Dan Teague. In this movie, he fulfills the Cyclops role from The Odyssey, but here he's a one-eyed KKK member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's also a con man. He says he's a Bible salesman, and then takes the guys out. Well, it's just two of them, and it beats them up, steals their money.
Instead of selling Bibles, he sells beatings.
Yeah, he does.
Holly Hunter plays Everett's wife, Penny. She doesn't really get too much characterization, so she's not terribly important.
No, she's more just at the end.
Chris Thomas King plays Tommy Johnson, a character not based in The Odyssey, but instead based off of the real-life figure Robert Johnson, the blues musician who supposedly sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah, you know the story, if you've heard it.
If you've heard it.
Yeah. I just heard of it from Supernatural, I believe.
Supernatural, and most likely your brother Oscar.
Maybe, I don't know.
He's a Robert Johnson enjoyer.
Sure.
Anyways, let's get into this movie. So, like we said, it's based off of Homer's Odyssey, and I feel like they adapted this work pretty well.
Yeah, you can pick out. Well, I don't think I've ever read the Odyssey all the way through. I've just read parts of it for school and like some college classes. So I could pick out some of the characters, like the wise blind man who, is along the train. Was he like the River Styx guy or something? I don't know.
Admittedly, it's been a while since I've read the Odyssey too. I also read that in high school. This is way back 2011, 2012.
Yeah, but John Goodman's character has an eye patch, and he's the big Cyclops, And there's different stuff that you can pick out. But some stuff, I think I had to look up because I wasn't too familiar.
There's the sirens and the three ladies by the river who feed our boys some moonshine, and you can tell it's moonshine because it's a big old jug with 3 X's on the side. That means strong stuff.
That is definitely moonshine.
Yeah, and at the end, our Odysseus, as it were, has to save his wife from her many suitors, or in this case, just the one.
Yeah, just the one suitor. Don't some of them get turned into pigs in the Odyssey?
I think so.
Yeah, and in this one, just one of them supposedly ges turned into a frog, but it was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, they thought he turned into a they got turned into a frog because Tim Blake Nelson's character is kind of a dumbass.
He's a little silly. Mm-hmm.
And these guys are just trying to get back to. Well, they think they're trying to get buried treasure, but like I said, Everett's trying to keep his wife from marrying this other guy. Not sure how he's gonna try to stop her from doing that, because she seems pretty intent on doing it. But then at the end, she's all of a sudden fine with being back with him again. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, she just kind of.
She changed her mind.
Yeah, she changed her mind.
As women do.
I guess.
But there's another pretty important aspect of this movie I'd like to talk about. The soundtrack. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, the music just works so well with the movie, and it just fits in with this theme. And it's great.
Yeah, from what I can tell, this movie reintroduced bluegrass to mainstream America again.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's some good stuff.
This movie's soundtrack actually won Album of the Year at the Grammys, the year that it came out.
Oh, so yeah, so people liked it.
Yeah, it is a great soundtrack. The obvious favorite of the bunch being "Man of Constant Sorrow," which they do two different times in the movie. That's pretty cool. And I'd like to say that was not George Clooney singing, which most people probably know, but I really like how they got the how they synced up the dub singer to Clooney's to his lips. It's basically seamless.
Yeah, it's really good.
In fact, the guy who dubbed Clooney singing said to his wife that he was going to be dubbing over George Clooney for his singing, and his wife said, "Your voice coming out of George Clooney's mouth, that's all I want to hear."
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. But yeah, the songs are great. I listen to a lot of them still every once in a while. They're really good.
Yeah. Now this movie was also a first in another aspect. I didn't wait. What other aspect did I say this was a first in already? I didn't. I'm just being silly.
Yeah, but go ahead. I know what you're gonna say.
This movie was the first movie to be completely digitally color graded. Now, what that means is, so they shot this movie in the middle of summer. You know, there was a whole bunch of green leaves on trees. It was a very green environment, you know? Mm-hmm. But they wanted this movie to be set in autumn. So what they did was they went frame by frame and colored all of the... And they recolored all of the scenes in this movie to make it the color that they wanted.
Yeah, I remember learning about that when I had like a film class in college, and that was really cool because yeah, the fall aesthetic fits in with the theme, and everything kind of just, the color is very very nice. It would have looked a lot different if it was a summer color, but yeah, the fall color is nice, I think.
Yeah, and I hardly ever bring up cinematography when we talk about movies, which is a shame. I really should do that more. But this movie,
shame.
This movie is really, really dang good looking. You know, we watched this movie on DVD, and that just goes to show how good this movie looks.
Yeah, it is good. It is very pretty.
Yeah, you can tell that this movie is shot by someone who knows what they're doing, which this movie is shot by the great Roger Deakins, of course, who was Oscar nominated for this movie for his cinematography.
Makes sense.
You know, Roger Deakins is just one of those guys that, well, safe to say, if he's on the project, you ain't got to worry. You're in good hands.
Nice.
So if this movie looks good on DVD, I can only imagine what it'll look like when it eventually gets a 4K release.
Yeah. It's going to look really good. I hope.
So, would you like to know some trivia about this?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, George Clooney was really eager to work with the Coen brothers, so he signed on to this movie without having read the script.
Oh. He's very confident.
So that wasn't George Clooney really singing, but that was really Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, yeah. He's got that southern voice. Yeah, he could do it.
J.K. Simmons actually auditioned for multiple parts, but he backed out when the one character that the Coens were leaning towards casting him as was too similar to his work on the show Oz, and he turned it down.
What was that character?
Well, given that he plays a neo-Nazi on Oz, I'm assuming they wanted him in the John Goodman role.
Probably.
But J.K. Simmons has worked with the Coen brothers quite a bit in the years since, in The Lady Killers. True Grit, he had a small cameo there. And okay, maybe that's it.
I have no idea.
Which it would have been nice to see him in this movie, but I'm not going to be upset about seeing John Goodman in the role.
Oh yeah.
Now, I really think that's all we have to say about Oh Brother Where Art Thou. It's a pretty basic movie. What you see is what you get, and all that jazz. It's a ball and a half to watch, and I'm never unhappy when I get to the end.
Yeah, it's great. You should definitely give it a watch if you haven't already. It's a fun time. It's a great movie.
Yes, it is. So, unless you have anything more to say?
I don't think so.
I don't either. So, we'll catch you next time.
See you next time.